You have reached your destination.
Yep. Alright, so here's today's job. I'm trying to get a couple of pieces of carpet into my car before I start installing stuff within the engine bay. Namely the brake system, the rest of the brake system, master cylinder and so forth, and my wiper motor. My intent is that when I put the stuff in, I don't have carpet over the bolts. In case I ever need to remove something, get to something or whatever, I want to have access to the mounting bolts, so I'll show you what I do in a sec. I'm using, this is my pattern. I'd previously made this thing when I put in the sound deadening and heat barrier. I'll show that to you as well. Obviously that's cut out and ready to go. I'm using 3M headliner adhesive. I will be doing 2 coats or so on this. And then 2 coats or so, let me turn the fan off. 2 coats or so of glue on this. Okay, so I already know that I'm not going to be covering these horizontal surfaces, this one there, and on the off chance that I have measured or cut my carpet incorrectly, I don't want that silver to bleed through or show through, so I painted it with some flat black. That's what I got the fan, so it'll get drying here pretty quickly, or quicker. And yeah, there you go. Like I say, once this is completely dry, I'll put a couple of coats of glue on there and get it going. And it'll be a quick and easy thing of just putting it up in there. I'll show you what I'm looking at here for the engine bay. You know, some of the poke throughs. Obviously, this is where the heater will go. I've taken a razor blade and I've cut all the heat barrier and sound deadening, everything else out of there. You can see, oops, here's a great example of mounting holes that I'm gonna have to do something with. This will get covered with that carpet as well. My intent, I've done this before with my Fiat, is to heat up a screwdriver with a blowtorch so it's nice and hot, and just poke it through all the way down to include the carpet. So, like I say, I'll have access to bolts and nuts and things if I ever needed to take this stuff off without having to take that entire piece of carpet down. Yep, that's it. Oh yeah, and by the way, I've chosen blue for the carpet color. It's not backed. I purposely chose it that way because it's easier to work with. This is the front of it. Here is the back of it. Not a whole lot of color change, but nice fuzzy stuff here. I'll show you what I'm looking at, or what I'll be doing as I mix this up. When you do something like this, you want to make a nice even coat of glue. And you'll do it this way, whoops, this way, one way. Love the smell of this stuff. Okay, so I've done a basic pattern here. I'm going to let this get tacky, and then the second coat of glue I'll be doing this way. For really good even coverage, that's a recommended way of doing this stuff, especially on the back of the can here. Next I'll be doing the car, again in two coats, and then I'll apply this. Applying it will be pretty easy actually. Now that I've got everything else ready to go and the patterns are laid out and blah blah blah, it goes on pretty quick. And I'm done. Yep, looks alright. Nothing special here. I may put some pieces on here, but may. However, where the carpet meets these verticals here, And down through there, I'm gonna have the piece that mates up with that lined. I've got some lining for it, edged, so it'll look nicer. Looks pretty good over there. I did a good job there with the hole for the hood pull, and yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Not that you can tell, it's kind of dark, but I'll show you. Ugh. Here's how the opening looks for the heater. I may trim this back a little bit, maybe. There's the brake pedal box, brake pedal hole. Definitely trim that back a tad. Yeah. So, what's next probably is going to be the windshield wiper motor and assembly. There and there. Got all that stuff ready to go. I've got a motor, a rebuilt motor, I think, or a new motor anyway, new to me. Used one. My old one was hashed. And that'll go in here next. All my parts for that are not there. That's a different one. There we go. That's it. There's the bad motor and all of this stuff here. Got a new one of these. Got a new one of these. The pipes I'll reuse. Motor is hashed. I'll reuse the gear thing, whatever it's called, but I need to relocate that to my new motor. So, Wyatt, if you're watching, nicely done, dude. I got it. And yeah, that's it.